We just bought an E30 that had been sitting in a barn for over 10 years. And in this series, we're going to be restoring it, modifying it, and hopefully road tripping it down the California coastline. Welcome back to Hashi.
About to go pick up the E30. What are we picking up today, Dev?
E30 barn find. Hopefully that shit runs. It's not gonna run.
It's not gonna run.
It's not gonna run.
We're taking the big rig. Gonna have to trailer it probably. Let's go.
This car was listed on OfferUp.
Where you get the best deals on OfferUp.
Not Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp. We've seen 2 pictures of it.
Okay, so these are the pictures we have.
Look at that door though.
Now, this E30 was 4 hours away, and even though we thought this was going to be a relatively simple pickup, we hadn't even seen the car yet, or heard it start. Alright, so this car is on an island, like a true island, which means to get there we're going to have to take a ferry.
So there's the ferry. The road, by the way, just turns into this.
Absolutely.
After obliterating our trailer on the ferry, we were on the island.
Hi. All right, there's these 2 big abandoned buildings, and apparently there's some old cars inside of one of them. Wow. Look at this thing. You want to tell them about the car we're picking up?
So this is a doohickey.
Dude, it's so tiny. These look like they've been here for 20 years. Old Maserati. It's a whole ass airplane.
It's like a quarter-ass airplane.
I ran out of weed, I sent your bitch out of town. Gave her 1,500 and she came back with 9. Rappers think they it, but they really just clowns. Gucci store.
Generally, when shopping for project cars, people say, make sure to check the oil, check the registration back fees, also check if there's plants growing out of it. That's usually not the best sign.
A little vegetation. Yeah, you want to show the inside, Dev?
Keep the interior though. It's like a colony of ants living in here.
Oh man, this is the best looking part of the car, honestly. Ooh, that's rough. So the shell's pretty rough.
The car is pretty rough.
The car is pretty rough.
Apparently the seller of this thing had bought a barn full of old E30s, and he had another one he wanted to show us that he thought we might be more interested in buying.
All right, we're now following this man we met on OfferUp to some random spot where he has another E30.
Based on the last one, I'm sure this one's gonna be great.
All right, so this is the other E30. Yeah, so this one was also in the barn, but it's just being stored at a separate location. Way clean. $600 or $700, flip a coin.
I'll call it.
All right.
Don't go ahead. Okay. Tails.
Heads.
$700.
$700.
We were hyped to get this thing for only $700, and even though it didn't start, we were pretty confident we could get it running. Little did we know, buying this car may have just been a huge mistake. All right, it's the next day. We're about to get this thing off the trailer, pulled into the backyard, and start taking a look at it. Aw, yeah. $700? You think that's savable? No, I think that's fine.
Oh, it's like a comp seat, you know the.
Yeah,
it's like a comp seat. Dude, whoever drove this thing was probably cheeked up to leave that kind of damage. The rear too, exceptionally bad.
Are you gonna keep this drivetrain?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so today we're gonna see if we can get it running. First things first.
Foam it. All right, so first things first, the car doesn't work.
Doesn't turn on.
Doesn't turn on.
It came without a starter. So it came with the old starter. I think we're gonna bench test it, which basically just means outside of the car, see if the starter even works. Probably just go from there.
Okay, so we're gonna bench test the starter, as Griffin said. To do that, you need a battery. We don't have any batteries sitting around, so we just grab whatever beater we had sitting around. So
Hey.
this needs to go out and spin. If it just spins or just goes out, then it doesn't work. If it goes out and spins, then it works.
The starter was going out, but it wasn't spinning, meaning that it was broken and we needed a new one. But little did we know, that was the least of our mechanical problems. All right, so Dan's delivering the starter later today. So right now, Ethan and I are gonna get started on ripping out the interior, because if you can see, we're thinking the whole interior is essentially totaled. The door cards might be savable, but
Smells like a 4-year-old ham sandwich in here. Oh, that's not really bolted in, huh?
this shit's gotta go. Wait, I'm not gonna throw it. Oh, ugh, don't do that. Dude, this is disgusting. Oh. Check out what we're working with here. This is disgusting. With the original owner's manual.
That's really cool, actually.
Africa, America, Asian?
It's in German, yeah.
Oh, the damn glove box doesn't latch. It fucking falls on my face. I love working on cars. Come on now. A lot of these old 80s and 90s cars, the factory speakers are made of paper. It's like construction paper. It's like what you make your 6th grade science project with. Upgrade your speakers. Don't use paper speakers.
What's going on, guys? Brand new starter out the box.
Ooh, AutoZone discount?
AutoZone discount.
Yep. That's much happier.
That's a working starter.
Hey.
Starter works. Starter goes in. We're gonna start the car. Got really old gas in it. Smells really bad. We're gonna drain it.
I have a feeling I'm gonna get a mouthful of 20-year-old gas. Let's see what happens.
Oh!
Oh, it's working.
That's cool.
So wait, what's the physics behind that? I can't comprehend it. It's like
Yes.
Romans. You ever seen a fucking aqueduct, bro? It's like that shit.
New starter is in. Next thing to do, I guess, is just see if the engine cranks over. I tried spinning it by hand. I couldn't get it to go. So maybe I'm a little weak or we're locked up.
Now, a normal motor is supposed to spin like this, and you can actually spin a motor by hand by putting a ratchet on the crank pulley and twisting it, like this. If that ratchet doesn't move, that means your motor is seized or stuck. And if a motor is seized and you can't get it unstuck, it's essentially totaled. If you try to start a seized motor with the ignition, the starter's just gonna click. It won't even crank.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, fuck.
Bruh. If the motor's locked, that turned this build from a restoration to a full swap. Guys, when your motor's hydro-locked, just take the plugs out and throw some schmutz in there, break it free with a breaker bar, drive that bitch home. Okay, so we've got a ratchet on the crank pulley. Gonna try to break it free by hand. POV, you're a starter. All right, so we need maximum torque on this. Take a jack handle. Oh God, the whole motor's moving.
It's still locked up. That's definitely why the guy sold it. It's also definitely why the starter was out of it when we bought it. I think it's just been sitting for a really long time and it's still seized up. So we put a shitload of ATF in there.
Best case scenario, the ATF eats through all the gunk and hopefully we could break it free in a couple days, but motor might not work. The ATF has been sitting in the cylinders for a couple days.
We're gonna pull it behind the truck, put it in third, and dump the clutch.
How's it gonna work? It's gonna go.
So when your car is in gear, the wheels are mechanically connected to the motor. Our strat for tonight is we're gonna put the car in neutral, pull it behind our truck so that the wheels get spinning, and then we're gonna put it in gear and dump the clutch, essentially using the momentum from the wheels to shock the motor. If this works correctly, the motor should jolt and unstick itself.
Can you help us push? Oh. Ow! 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 Push it! I'm pushing! I'm pushing!
What we're looking for here is to dump the clutch and have the wheels keep spinning. If we dump the clutch and the wheels skid or lock, that means the motor is still seized.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh! Oh! It's locking up.
Well, that sucked. It didn't work.
It didn't unlock.
It did not unlock.
That motor is still locked.
Yeah.
Is it angled in?
It's gonna hit the GTR.
We now had one last shot to break this thing free by hand.
Oh shit, I don't want to be near that.
Oh my God!
On our last try breaking this motor free, we snapped the breaker bar. This motor was gonna have to come out.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, so it's about a month later. Motor got seized. We got busy. Our truck got stolen.
So today we're gonna, we found a motor on Facebook Marketplace, really far away from where we are.
Motor that's in here, out of here. We got something crazy going in. Cows. Wow. Amazing.
One time I saw a cow rolling down the hill.
What? How is he sleeping like that? All right, where the fuck are we going? Are we about to get murdered?
Jacob and Edward riding with somewhere over there.
After 3.5 hours of driving, we finally got to see our new motor. This is an M30 B35. Hailing from bigger, more expensive cars of the E30's time period, the M30 came in cars like the E24 Sharknose and the E32 7 Series. It's also pushing nearly double the power of our old motor, with 208 horsepower and 225 pound-feet of torque. Luckily, this M30 was coming out of a crashed, previously swapped E30. Meaning we were getting everything we needed to complete the swap for our car. 4 hours later, we've got our swap. Came out of a parts car, which means we got rear seats and we got AC and we got a window regulator.
And a new radiator. It's like what, 80% of what we needed?
Yeah, basically almost all the parts we needed right here. We're really hungry. We're making a stop at the Red Frog.
It's popping though. Look how many cars are here.
All right, so the drunk locals at the Red Frog saw us filming our video and started yelling at us.
We got scared.
And we left. So we'll be eating elsewhere. Looks kind of nice. Shit. God damn. God damn. All right, we got the motor. So today we're gonna push this thing back into the garage and try to lift out the old motor. That's today's objective. All right, E30's in the garage. So what's the general strat for pulling a motor?
You see something connecting the motor to the car, you remove that thing.
I think we just disconnect stuff until there's nothing left to disconnect.
This dude went to school for this, by the way. That's the official advice from the certified mechanic. Got the exhaust off. That's the drive shaft right there. That's where it connects to the transmission. We're gonna pull the motor and the trans all out in one, so we gotta disconnect it from the drive shaft. Ooh.
Yeah, the thing is completely electrically disconnected. Mounts are off, coolant hoses are off. This is the entire harness right here.
It's like 2 connectors.
That's like a headlight harness for an M4. For anyone that's never pulled a motor before,
You just keep pulling, and if something gets caught, you just pull past it.
so you can see we've got the motor hooked up from here up to the engine hoist. The engine hoist is just like a big jack. Jack this, that goes up.
So new plan, instead of trying to get it out level, because that's not working, we're just gonna try to one strap right in front and just get it as vertical as we can and see what happens.
It's a little stupid.
It'll be fine.
Clear.
Woo! Motor's out. All right, so Dan was just taking the trans off the old motor, and that is a brand new clutch. So they installed a brand new clutch and then never got it to run.
Because the motor was locked up.
Because the motor was locked.
With the motor out and 2 shells in our driveway now, we decided to pressure wash and paint the engine bay. This actually looks surprisingly good given that we just scuffed and shot the bay with spray paint.
So we got the old engine out today.
Tomorrow that is going here.
No transmission, it'll be really easy. On these motors, the starter bolts to the engine instead of the trans like most of them. So it could start. I'd like to see it start, that'd be really cool.
We all wanted to see this thing start, so we were up early the next morning to drop the new motor in. Like Ethan mentioned, we're dropping this motor in without the transmission attached, which will give us a lot more room to work with. With the back of the motor right up against the firewall, the front just barely cleared. Like seriously, this thing was right up against the front core support.
We're on one motor mount.
Fucking installed. This thing is really simple comparison to like anything else.
Hey, compared to an F80, this thing's pretty different, honestly. What you got there?
The radiator.
Is there room for the radiator?
We're about to find out.
That's a tight ass fit.
Dude, it's sitting on the compressor, I'm not gonna lie.
This motor is way too big for this car. The AC compressor won't fit. The AC compressor is too fat, it hits the radiator. We're not willing to not have a radiator or not have AC.
So we're gonna try to push this whole thing back a little bit. The weapon of choice. What you got?
A spear, a Dremel.
To move the motor back, we had to jack it up off the engine mounts, use a Dremel to widen the engine mounting holes, and then push the motor back further towards the firewall. And even though it's hard to see in this video, this actually gave us enough clearance to run both the AC compressor and the radiator.
Used to sit here.
Now it sits
Next up, we were gonna give the car power and see if we could get it to crank.
Battery. Let's see if anything smokes and or clicks and or blows up there. None?
You smell anything, twin?
Nah, solid.
Oh, listen to that little chime.
Never heard that before.
All right, is it in neutral?
Yeah, it's a neutral.
All right.
Smells like shit down there.
At this point, we hadn't hooked up any of the fuel, so the car wouldn't start, but it should crank.
Whoa!
Crazy. Wow.
Damn!
Brake fluid and a lighter.
Oh my god, that
good
cranks
compression.
amazing.
It sounds awesome.
This motor's never cranked in the whole time I've had it. This car's never
This car is never cranked.
Okay,
fucking car.
rip that intake off, boys.
Aw, shit.
This was the moment of truth. With battery power, a working starter, and spark, we should be able to get this motor started by manually spraying some brake clean into the intake, which simulates fuel, since we hadn't hooked up our fuel pump yet. Nothing. Over the next couple days, we kept troubleshooting the motor, but it still wouldn't start. After so many tries, we had to consider the possibility that this motor may also be bad. Psych!
Hey, it sounds good.
God damn!
It sounds healthy as fuck. Hell yeah.
Alright, well, now we have to make it actually work. But that shit starts!